The Last of Us Part 1 PC release date set for March. Announced tonight during the Game Awards, The Last of Us Part 1 officially has a PC release date, March 3, 2023. This remake of The Last of Us was originally supposed to come to PC very soon after its September launch on PlayStation 5, but we hadn't heard a firm date since then. The Last of Us Part 1 is a 2022 action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. A remake of the 2013 game The Last of Us, it features revised gameplay, including enhanced combat and exploration, and expanded accessibility options. The single-player story follows Joel, who is tasked with escorting the young Ellie across a post-apocalyptic United States and defend against cannibalistic creatures infected by a mutated strain of the Cordyceps fungus. The game includes the expansion The Last of Us, Left Behind, a single-player campaign following Ellie and her best friend Riley. The original game's online multiplayer mode is omitted. Development was led by game director Matthew Gallant and creative director Shauna Skegg, who replaced original directors Bruce Straley and Neil Druckmann. Part 1 was rebuilt to take advantage of updated hardware, requiring new animations, art direction, and character models to align with the vision of the original development team. The visual departments analyzed the original cutscenes and narrative beats to identify crucial storylines and their original direction and purpose. The team expanded upon the gameplay, technology, and accessibility features of The Last of Us Part 2, 2020, using its game engine and building upon it with the updated technology. The cutscenes feature audio descriptions, for which the developers collaborated with Descriptive Video Works. Part 1 supports 3D audio, as well as the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers of the DualSense controller. Following several leaks, The Last of Us Part 1 was announced in June 2022 and released for PlayStation 5 on September 2. It is scheduled for release on Windows on March 3, 2023. It received positive reviews, with praise for its graphical enhancements, facial animations, artificial intelligence, and its added accessibility, audio, and controller options. The response to its gameplay and level design was mixed, and several critics questioned the necessity of a remake, especially considering its price. It received nominations at the Game Awards and Golden Joystick Awards. The Last of Us Part 1 is a remake of the 2013 video game The Last of Us, an action-adventure game played from a third-person perspective. The player traverses post-apocalyptic environments to advance the story, and uses firearms, improvised weapons, hand-to-hand combat, and stealth to defend against hostile humans and cannibalistic creatures known as the infected, who have been infected by a mutated strain of the Cordyceps fungus. For most of the game, player character Joel escorts a young girl, Ellie, across the United States. The player controls Ellie throughout the winter segment, and briefly controls Joel's daughter Sarah in the opening sequence. In the included expansion, The Last of Us, Left Behind, the player controls Ellie as she spends time with her best friend and love interest Riley Abel. The original game's online multiplayer mode is omitted from Part 1, and its narrative is entirely unchanged. The remake features revised gameplay, including enhanced combat and exploration. The overhauled artificial intelligence (AI) allows more non-player characters, NPCs, on screen, with enemy AI acting more aggressive and tactical than in the original game. The Infected received some gameplay adaptations, such as new stalker animations and a charge move for bloaters. New gameplay additions include a permadeath mode, a speedrun-focused mode, and new costumes for Joel and Ellie. The expanded accessibility options include customizable controls, audio description for cutscenes, and haptic feedback during dialogue. Difficulty modes can be customized to change enemy resilience, stealth efficacy, and resource availability. The overhauled photo mode adds several bonus features, allowing visual and gameplay modifiers such as slow motion and infinite ammunition. On PlayStation 5, the game supports hardware features such as 3D audio, and uses the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers of the DualSense controller to emulate gameplay actions such as shooting a shotgun or drawing a bowstring. It can display at native 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, or upscaled resolution at a targeted 60 frames per second, with variable refresh rate enabled. Both modes allow an unlocked frame rate, capable of more than 60 frames per second.